Hi, it's Vera. Welcome to the PL Pod, second season, episode 3. Today I'm joined by Thomas Leduc, who was the Poet Laureate of the City of Greater Sudbury from 2014 to 2016. Currently, he's the president of the Sudbury Writers Guild. His poems and short stories cover an array of subject matter and genre. His work has been published in a variety of magazines and anthologies. Tom published his first book, Slagflower, Poems Unearthed from a Mining Town, with Latitude 46 Publishing here in Sudbury. Tom will tell you he wrote this book as a thank you to the mining industry and to the city he loves. He wanted to give the world a glimpse into life of a mining town, who the people are, and how their work has built the world we live in today. If you'd like to know more about Tom, you can visit his webpage at tomleducpoetry.wixsite.com/home. If you'd like to own Slagflower, it can be purchased from Latitude 46 Publishing here in Sudbury. Tom's a member of the Writers' Union of Canada and a member of the League of Canadian Poets. Hi, Tom.
Hi, Vera.
How are you today?
I'm doing quite well today. Yes.
Good. And we lie socially. I'd like to add, with regard to Slagflower, that for me, your collection was a close emotional examination of the ripple effects of mining, not just on a miner, but on that miner's family and on the community as a whole. And I'd like to quote you now in reference to your own collection. And I quote, "I wanted to delve into my own history. I think it helps to look back at yourself before you move forward." So, feeling
Yes.
like you're in a therapy session? In reference to your quote, moving forward, what has moving forward looked like for you since you were Poet Laureate?
Oh, well, being poet laureate really changed my life. The position revealed to me what I was capable of as a writer, as a member of the community. It showed me that I can be a husband, a father, have a full-time job, and pursue my passion. So that was a big reveal to me, and something I cherish. Since then, I've tried to slow things down, but I don't think I have. I've put poetry on Laurentian trails. I've become the president of the Sudbury Writers Guild. I wrote my first book of poetry and got it published, Slagflower, as you mentioned. I've been working with a friend of mine, Owen Bloomfield, who's a very talented and accomplished composer, and he's written music for some of these poems, which we'll have an event for that for too. And also as a guild member, I put together a collection of short stories and poems about the St. Joseph Hospital, Painted Voices. So I've been staying quite busy, which is nice.
Yes, you are. And it is nice. With regard to your own poetry, how do you think it's evolved in the last few years, the writing of poetry specifically?
Well, my poetry, let's see, my poetry is currently I'm working on a new book of poetry, and its title is Palpitations. These poems focus on interrupting moments of life, the moments that stop us in our tracks, whether it's big or little reasons, moments that can change our lives and set us on a new path, or maybe just stop us in our tracks and appreciate what's around us.
Well,
So
that sounds good.
yeah, it is, and I find that the whole world has been in one of those moments for the last 2 years, and it's we tend not to pay attention to them. So I'm just trying to shine some light to them in this collection of poems. That's what I've been focusing on.
Well, that sounds really interesting. Are you still stashing your poetry in a lunch pail?
I am, yes. I haven't done many readings since the pandemic's been on, but my lunch pail sits by the door, full of books and poems, and ready to go.
I admire that about you. Often I'm not ready to go. Uh, well, speaking for myself, I'm looking forward to whatever comes next for me. I loved Slag Flower, and for me, again, it read in so many different ways. It was almost like reading a novel about Sudbury because of the voice that you use throughout the whole thing, and it goes into so many different avenues. If you have not read this book, listeners, you should think seriously about getting it, because it's not just a discussion of Sudbury, but I think it fits in all areas where you are, a single industry town, or where you yourself struggle to fit into those norms that happen in towns that are single industry, and in cities proper, I suppose. Um, I know you're ending your run as president of the Sudbury Writers Guild, and as you mentioned, one of your last acts is going to be launching the anthology, Painted Voices. And that's sponsored by the Guild, and I had a preview of it, and it looks great. Can you give listeners an idea what sparked the idea for this anthology?
Sure, sure. Painted Voices was started the same as my poetry on trail project started at the Sudbury Public Library, believe it or not. Poetry on Trails was started from one of Roger Nash's launches, a conversation there, and Painted Voices started at one of the open mic readings. I met a man named Bernie Hughes, who's a fellow poet and writer, and we got to talking about the mural and the hospital and the controversy and everything around it. And he proposed the idea that it would make a great writing prompt, and I agreed. So from there, we made the proposal to the Writers Guild. They jumped on board, and since then, we've now gotten. I actually found out this morning we got our second grant from the city, which is really exciting. Yeah. So they're not big grants, but it's a little bit, and it helps us do these little projects. We also got a little bit from Panoramic Properties to help with the funding of this little project. So we're really excited about it.
Well, that is exciting. And it may be a small project in the planning and execution of it for you as an experienced writer. For those who contributed from the community, it's not a little project, and it's very exciting for them, I'm sure. I remember my first publication, as I'm sure you do, and it's so exciting. So I'm
Yeah.
really happy for all those people who are included in this. And for those in the broader world, Tom is referring to the mural painted by Risk, which covers the old hospital site here in Sudbury, the St. Joseph's Hospital site, painted by Risk, a California muralist, and it's gotten a lot of comment. Some of it not great, but some of it
Yeah, yeah,
very,
there were
very
mixed
good.
emotions on it for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But it is the largest mural in Canada, and I know I like it, and art always evokes controversy. So and it's good to talk about it and
Hmm.
see what people feel. So
Yeah, I think the best art causes a lot of discussion, both negative and positive. So you're absolutely right about that. Um, this was a community-driven project. Were you surprised by the response to your submission call?
well, I'm always surprised by the response. I always get more than I expected, and always a lot of stuff that I didn't expect. We received over 60 submissions. Some were positive, some were negative, but many were memories of employees and patients and the time they spent there and the people they met and stuff that happened. And it was really cool. After our extremely difficult selection process, we uh, we had enough material to put together a 48-page chapbook with some incredible photos, which I'm really quite proud of. We got a few local photographers involved. We have photos uh, from the past given to us by the sisters who used to run the hospital. We have photos from local photographers. We have pieces. We were actually given permission by Panoramic to go inside the building in its current state, which is really quite interesting. And we brought local photographer Malcolm or Bennett Malcolm's uh, come in and take some pictures with us. So the chapbook is a real historical keepsake for the people of the city and stuff.
It is, yeah. And I don't know if you've set this up yet, but can you get a copy of this anthology within the next short time?
Yes, it's currently at the printers. We're hoping to have some copies ready the end of this month for sale. The best we can do right now is you can go to the Sudbury Writers Guild website, message us on that. We'll get back to you with how to pay and get you out a copy of it, or you can contact myself. You can contact me on Facebook, or just send me an email at thomas.leduc@gmail.com, and I'll arrange for payment and drop off of the copy. We're hoping to end up at the farmers market a few times this summer also, and then sell some copies. So it's difficult at the moment with everything that's going on, but
It is. Hopefully, things will settle for us and we will be able to go out in public again, especially, you know, things like the farmers market and being able to set up there and other outdoor venues. I mean, theoretically, we're safe in the outdoors and, still masking, so that's great. And yeah,
yeah. Well, we'll definitely work with what we have and get it to anyone who wants it. So please find us out.
yeah, chase you down.
Yes, yes, yes.
Well, and again, it's both easy and difficult to get hold of people sometimes in the public arena, but hopefully we will be back at the library. And I'm, as poet laureate, I am available through the library. They can also contact me if they like, and I will direct them to you. So that would
Oh,
be
that's
a good
excellent.
thing to do. Yeah, well, as the poet, I am supposed to help out, and I'm happy
Yes,
to help out in that way.
thank you very much.
And would you like to read a piece from the anthology?
Oh yeah, sure. If you don't mind, I'll read the piece that I submitted. I actually submitted three poems for this anthology, but as it turns out, the editing process was quite difficult. I only got one submitted and published, which is all good. It's titled Ouroboros. Now, for people who don't know, the Ouroboros is the symbol of the snake that eats itself, and it's represented of the eternal cycle of life, death, and rebirth. Um, I saw this as a great symbol to represent the hospital and everything the hospitals represent and stuff, and I based my poem off of that. So I'll read that for you now. Ouroboros. Grin and bear it. This building is a bridge we reluctantly cross. Clench your fist and swear these bricks and mortar breathe. Open one door, close another. The circle that eats itself. A forest of green shrubs frames the lake of your body. The doctor, a sunrise at the end of your shores. Then, from the darkness, a crown. Push, my love. Push with your soul. The sky, the water, your eyes, her eyes, blue. Her first breath, a newborn color, like frost in the garden. I recall my father crossing over the building's bricks, the earth, my eyes, brown. His last breath, the dust that settles in an empty room.
That's beautiful, Tom.
Thank you.
And well, I'm not surprised it's beautiful. All your poetry is beautiful. Thank you for coming in today. It means a lot. And on a personal note, thank you for all you've done as the president of the Writers Guild. As a member, I appreciate you, and I know the other members do as well. And I hope that whoever steps into your shoes, since we're an open door at the moment, uh, does an equally good job.
I'm sure they will.
I'm sure they will too. On that note, I'll say goodbye for now, listeners. You know what I always say, write something, it feels good.